Welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Tiger Talk, back at our indoor facility here as we prepare for a huge game, ESPN College Game Day, Tigers on the road, night game. That's kind of what we've gotten used to, right?
Yeah. It's just, what was this, 9 out of the last 10 games. So this will be 10 out of the last 11 road games for Clemson have been prime time. And I think 4 of those have been ESPN College Game Day.
A little further road trip for us this week, but you guys will enjoy that because we'll share all of our fun as we go from Clemson to all the daggone way out to Texas. All right, we're going to break down what we heard today. We had Dabo and we had Coach Brownell today, and we had a couple of players here in the indoor facility. We'll start off with some things you heard from Dabo today.
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out, Dabo was asked about, was it a growing trend in college football to use 2 quarterback system now? And Dabo kind of was like, no, I don't think so. He's like, I'm just playing the best players, and, that's really all it is. He's like, we had 2 quarterbacks transfer out this year because they wanted to play, and so he's like, I'm just playing the best guys. And he says right now it just happens to be this year on a year-to-year basis. He's like, I got 2 quarterbacks that I feel like can help us win, and so he's playing 2. And he said that's what he bases his whole team on, is about winning, because that's what he ultimately gets paid to do, and he's got to win football games, and he's going to do what's best for his team. And so that's kind of what I took from that today. And we got that stuff up, we got that story up on the website if you want to check it out. And Dabo, he was a different Dabo today. Usually a big game.
A little feisty.
It was feisty at times, but it just wasn't like, even if it's a big game this week, it just seemed like, I hate to say it this way, but it seemed like Furman's press conference. It just didn't seem as big as Dabo has made some other press conferences. So he did get feisty at times, though, but just not as much.
I thought he was pretty good today. He had some great one-liners on the topic you're talking about. He said, I'm not here to make anybody happy. Yeah. I'm here to win ball games. And we've already had 2 transfer. Then he was asked the question that the TV guys had to ask today about the Nike Colin Kaepernick relationship, since Clemson, obviously, I think a week ago we were talking about this great new big deal that Clemson signed with Nike and all this money they're going to get from Nike. And Dabo, I don't know that the Nike folks are going to like his answer too much, but he looked at his shirt and pointed at the paw and he said, this is the logo I'm concerned with. So that was his answer to that situation. Also got a little bit of humor from Austin Bryant today. Tell us a little bit some of the things we heard from Austin.
Yeah. So during Dabo's press conference today, the topic somehow came up where Dabo said that the defensive line has got its Power Rangers nickname. So the offensive line, Dabo said, needs a nickname. So Austin Bryant was up there. He's a member of the Power Rangers, of course. He was asked if he has a suggestion for the offensive line nickname, and Bryant kind of was like, kind of sat up there pondering for a second. He was like, well, we're the Power Rangers, so what else could they be? And he thought for a minute, and then he came up with this wonderful suggestion that I'm sure the offensive line will be thrilled about: the Teletubbies. So Teletubbies, or however you say it, the little, the kids show. So
Gavin's not fooling anybody. He watches it every morning.
So I'm sure the offensive line will be thrilled about that when they hear that. But that was hilarious. But Austin Bryant also had some good stuff to say today. A lot of the talk this week has been how will Clemson go on the road in front of 110,000 people and perform, especially the freshmen. Although we saw how good they were last week, but how will they do in front of an environment like that, in a hostile environment? And Bryant was asked, does Clemson enjoy going on the road and playing in a hostile environment like that? And Bryant said, you know what, we can play anywhere. We can play on Jervey Meadows if you want to. Bryant went on to talk about how they've tried to instill the mentality in their head that it doesn't matter when they play, it doesn't matter where they play, it doesn't matter who they play, just spot the ball. And so that's a good thing to hear for Clemson fans as they go into the road to face this kind of environment, that they're not really concerned about all that. They're just more worried about focusing on themselves and executing and playing the game, not what's going on around the game.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of coach speak coming out of Austin Bryant today. Dabo's got to love that. Austin's been around 4 years, and he's just regurgitating what we hear from the coach every week. Well, we got to give Coach Brownell a little love here, since we did get a Brownell press conference before the Dabo press conference. They had a little fun with each other in between. What are some things we heard Coach Brownell say?
Yeah, Coach Brownell came and spoke to us, which was kind of weird because usually this time of year we don't get Coach Brownell, but the NCAA is now allowing basketball teams to practice a little bit earlier than they used to. So Midnight Madness is going to start changing, I think, a little bit from what people are used to, which is sometime in October. Now, I think Clemson's going to start practicing September 28th this year. So make sure you check that out as the Tigers get ready for that. But so he talked about getting ready to start here in a couple of weeks for practice, and he talked about the difference it is around campus now and how people are patting him on the back, good job, and it's a totally different thing. Talked about some shuffling inside his program, not with his coaches or anything, but with the administration of the program and those things, and kind of updated us on that, and talked about the trip to Italy that they're going to be making next year, representing the USA in the World Games next year. So, he had, it was really a whole gamut of things he talked about, but the majority, I think, what came out to me was the level of excitement for basketball right now. Dabo Swinney came in and says, well, you got a big-time basketball program now, and the basketball coach is coming in here starting off his press conference before mine. So Dabo was kind of giving it to him hard, talking about, oh, yeah, you guys at practice, you like to come over here, finally get out in the heat a little bit, because you're always in the air conditioning practice, you basketball coaches and players. So, Dabo was giving it to him a little bit. But it was nice, good banter between the two of them. And before Dabo came in, of course, Brownell was giving it about Dabo, saying, what time's it start? 11 o'clock, so he'll be here at 11:10. So he's like, what am I? Am I just the sideshow before the main attraction comes in? I mean, it was funny how the two were going after each other.
Well, and we covered, as you guys know, we cover almost all the Prowling Grouse. Only site to go out there and really do that on the road, and we get to watch those two together on the road, and they've got a great rapport and do a good job together.
Yeah, Dabo was talking about how excited he is, how pumped up he is for Clemson basketball, and Brownell was sitting off to the side, attended the first good portion of Dabo's press conference, so it's really cool to see him support each other like that.
All right, folks, that is a special edition of Tuesday Tiger Talk. We even threw in a little basketball there, get everybody excited for another run to the hopefully far into the NCAA tournament. It's awesome to be able to sit here and talk about the NCAA tournament instead of, we make the NIT. So a lot of things have changed. But we got a huge football game this week. We got a ton of coverage headed your way. We're going to be talking to Taj later today. He's got some special things headed our way this week as well. So stay tuned to TCI all week. We will be headed out to College Station, Texas, and hopefully looks like we're going to miss the hurricane and have a ton of coverage all week long from a huge game for the Clemson Tigers. Stay tuned to TCI for the most complete coverage of Clemson football.